to Continental Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The New Jersey State Wrestling Finals in full swing as we move to our next bout at 130 pounds with Mark Manchio from Sterling, undefeated at 36-0, taking on Antonio Mangione at 36-1 from Del Barton. Now Mangione is a freshman, but Manchio, the junior, at 36-0, has been here before. He was state champ last year at 119 pounds. He also pinned his way to the Beast of the East tournament in Delaware. And his opponent, Mangione from Del Barton, just a freshman, but he has been impressive all year long. And the people who've been following him in the closed circles say that he is really a goer.
Well, we'll see in a moment right now. You got to look at Mark Manchio, a very confident wrestler. During the introductions, he was doing a little bit of jawing at Mangione.
Well, last season, he defeated a two-time state champion, Joe Alexander from Delsea, 6'5", and the year before that, he had lost to Alexander in a 112-pound final, so it's the third final for Mark Manchio from Sterling, and he's just a junior.
Looks like part of Mangione's strategy is to stay low.
That shot came from too far away, and he finds himself almost a little throw by quickly by Manchio.
Manchio fakes a shot. Now goes into the high crotch, countered by Mangione. Mangione with double unders, and he'll stalemate it. Mangione right away back to the center. Little quick sweep at the ankle of Manchio. Can't get it. Both wrestlers doing a little bit of cat and mouse, looking for their opportunity. Manchio off on a shot, follows up with another high crotch. Just can't get close enough to Mangione, and they'll be stalemated again.
So we're scoreless in the first 58 seconds. Imagine yourself being a freshman going up against a guy who's been down this road twice before.
Mangione tried, Manchio with almost a throw by, but countered nicely by Mangione. You know, you say that, you know, I think as a wrestler, being a freshman going against a state champion, you have nothing to lose. You pretty much want that situation. Everyone's probably saying, hey, you're a freshman, you made it to the state finals. There's no pressure on you. And I'm sure Mangione has different plans. He doesn't want to settle for that runner-up spot. Manchio trying a high crotch into a dump. Countered nicely by Mangione.
Well, I think Mark Manchio in the silver singlet from Sterling is maybe a little bit frustrated. That last shot came from pretty far away, and he left himself exposed. You see Manchio, he's ready to take a shot, but you don't want to take that shot from too far away. You'll find yourself putting yourself right flat on the mat, especially against a technically sound wrestler, as it seems that the freshman from Del Barton is. So we end the first period scoreless. Mark Manchio from Sterling against Antonio Mangione in the green from Del Barton. But as we mentioned, Sterling, a returning champ. Now the freshman, Mangione, will start on the bottom here in period number 2.
We'll see what he can do from this position, off the whistle. Manchio goes into a crab ride and a half Nelson. Mangione trying a little Granby, followed nicely by Manchio. Still riding with the half Nelson and a tight waist.
Still in all, Mangione has been able to pretty much get to his base.
Manchio now with the leg in. Leg comes out, goes to a crab ride and a half Nelson. Mangione doing a nice job of rolling around on the bottom, not sitting still. Now he's trying to buck Manchio. Manchio got up a little high with the legs. Now Mangione trying to come out for 2.
He's got it on the reversal. 2-0 for Antonio Mangione. And the freshman leads it 2-0 over a former state champ, was trying to retreat. Wow, look at the tide turn here quickly in the second period.
Antonio Mangione is pumped up right now.
Well, I mentioned it right at the end of the first period. It seems that Mangione is technically sound. Saw a little opening and took advantage of it.
Well, as I mentioned before at the introductions, Manchio was doing a lot of jawing, and that can either psych your opponent out or that can psych him up. And maybe it just did the reverse of what Manchio was trying to do. But we'll see. This one's far from over.
Going to get a caution on the top on Mangione, the freshman from Del Barton. A little smile comes to his face. That's right. 36-1, and
I jumped the gun. I'll take that caution.
Third seed gets ready to go once again.
Right off the whistle. Manchio doing a nice job of stepping over. Picks up a reversal.
We are tied at 2 as Manchio may say that's enough of this fooling around. 2-2, 2 reversals here in the second period, and that's where we stand right now. Mark Manchio in the silver singlet from Sterling against Antonio Mangione, the freshman in green from Del Barton, who's now trying to come off the bottom. Stalemate.
We got a stall call, and he put up the green fist.
So the warning would be against Mangione. It didn't appear to be too much stalling, but who am I to say?
Little Granby attempted, followed nicely by Manchio. Manchio again with the crab right and a power half, or rather just a straight half. Couldn't get any exposure there, and they'll go off.
Manchio's late reversal here has tied it up at 2, and we have 13 seconds to wrestle in this second period.
Manchio off the whistle will throw a half Nelson. Going to a spiral ride, now switches off to a crab, now has a half. Manchio doing a nice job of riding on top. Tough rider, and will end the second period. Score 2-2.
Well, let's take a look at the scoring as we had in the second period. First off, a reversal here by Mangione from Del Barton.
Yeah, Mangione trying to turn with a half Nelson and crab. Has got a little high with the leg. Mangione, all he does is just start bucking himself. Reaches for the head. It's able to come out. But here's the other one as Manchio with the half Nelson. Oh, we missed it.
Still 2 reversals, and that's all we've had as far as scoring goes. We're in the third period, just underway, and we want to get back to action as quick as possible because the way these 2 wrestlers have shown they can turn in a moment's notice in a 2-2 match in the third period, you know, anything can happen. And I think anytime you have a freshman going against a returning champ, anything is going to happen. Mangione on the top here in the third period in the green singlet from Del Barton, working against a returning champ and Mark Manchio, trying to turn him here for the lead in the third period. And Manchio doing a nice job of trying to control that left ankle. Now he wants to try to scoot out.
Mangione does a nice job of getting that leg in there to prevent Manchio from coming out. And they'll come back to the center.
That's an experienced ride right there. I'm impressed with the freshman and Mangione. 36-1, first in his district and first in his region. He has really come onto the scene in a hurry. And he comes all the way to a state final. He's tied 2-2 against a returning champ.
Manchio trying to do a couple of Granbys, followed nicely by Mangione. Now throws a leg and a power half. Will try to stretch out Manchio. Arches back. He's got to make sure he can flatten out Manchio. If not, he may get reversed. The referee says no one's going anywhere, so let's start again.
Well, besides Manchio, only Mike Hallow of St. Joe Montvale, a former place winner, was the only other seeded wrestler who was a medalist back in this field. But here it looks like Mark Manchio from Sterling has all he can handle with the freshman and Mangione from Del Barton.
Manchio trying a standing switch, trying to scoot his hips. Mangione doing a nice job of countering, staying low on the legs, stepping through, almost picked up a Turk ride, and they'll go out again. You just have to wonder, can Antonio Mangione ride out Manchio?
But there are no riding points in
there
high
are
school
no riding
wrestling.
points.
It would look great in college. You'd get that. He'd have that advantage over a minute. He'd get the extra point and walk off a winner. But that's not the case here. You're looking at overtime, possibly, with 44 seconds to go.
Locked hands signaled. So Mangione is going to get called for a technical violation. And now he almost has to let Manchio up now and try to take him down.
Well, in the dark jacket on the left, that is Mike Ahern. And he's the coach of Manchio. And Ted O'Donnell is the head coach for Mangione from Del Barton. In the conventional jacket, scratching his chin as he finds his wrestler trailing by a point.
You see Mangione signaling an optional start, and he'll release Manchio. And he'll have to go after him now as they go out. And Mangione, you said he was a goer. He runs right back to the center. This is going to be fun.
4-2 the score for Mark Manchio from Sterling in the silver, and we're down to the final 22 seconds.
Stalemate is called. Manchio locking on the elbows of Mangione.
Fans wanted a stalling call. None was called.
Shot
14 seconds.
There's the stalling call.
Makes it a 4-3 advantage for Manchio.
Mangione trying to spin. He's going to run out of time, though. And Mark Manchio will escape with a 4-3 win. What a great match.
Fans on their feet, and why not, as they see Mark Manchio, the junior, hold off the freshman, Antonio Mangione. But there's your champ from Sterling, the junior, 37-0, Mark Manchio, as he is now a two-time New Jersey state champ.
And a well-deserved, hard-fought win for Mark Manchio as he'll look for the runway.
That is his 102nd career victory. He only has 2 losses in his career. Another look at the flurry right in the final seconds, Rich.
Mangione trying to get behind. Manchio does a nice job of countering it.